Yo, what's up, guys? I'm the Fire King, and I'm back. I had some really bad personal stuff happen. I don't want to get too, I don't want to get into details, but some really bad personal stuff was happening. That's why I haven't been around. But the PWC, it's in its off season, so I started another mini league called the Elite 8, or the TEE for short. It's only 8 coaches. It's 7 weeks long in the regular season. 2 divisions of 4 teams in each division. The top two teams from each division make playoffs. And we did have to drop out of the WPL last season. We were 4-0 with a plus 19 differential. The championship was looking nice, but we had to drop out. And the PWC, we had to drop out also right after week 1. We did pick up a victory over there also. And the WPL, my buddy the OP Jealous, he hit me up and he said, there's a spot open, would you like to join? So I joined, but I basically chose from scrap, so that team's not all that good. We're in week 6, I believe, and I'm gonna be uploading those matches also. But like I said, the PWC is in its off season, so that's why I started another mini league. This one, which is the Elite 8, like I said, the THE for short. And today we're facing our good buddy Storm. He is coach of the SD.Sneasels. He's also with us in the PWC and the WPL. A little note there: we 6-0'd him in both of those leagues when we faced him. So hopefully we could win here, and if we could pick up another 6-0, hey, that would be great. And I didn't do a team, a draft analysis for my team in this league. Just for the reason being, like I said, I haven't recorded in a while, and I want to get these battles out to you guys. But I was the 4th pick in the draft. Like I said, it was only 8 teams. I was the 4th pick. Obviously, it got to me, and I chose the captain, M.Victinis, the mascot of the channel, the mascot of the team. I got M.Victinis, and then I know I got a Mega Venusaur, and then I got Lando. And after that, I don't remember the order which I got which I dropped in my mons. But like I said, basically the team is M.Victinis, Mega Venusaur, Salamence, Heliolisk, Blastoise, Registeel, Gramble, Landorus T, Greninja Torrent, or Torrent Greninja, same thing, Dusknoir, and Licky. So that's the team, the 11 mons I drafted. And for this match, we brought M.Victinis, which is holding the Wise Glasses with Blue Flare, Glaciate, T-Bolt, and U-Turn. Lando with Leftovers. He's physically defensive with EQ, Knockoff, Rock Slide, U-Turn. Heliolisk is Expert Belt with T-Bolt, Hyper Voice, Dark Pulse, HP Fire. Greninja is holding the Expert Belt as well with Scald, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, HP Fire. Registeel's especially defensive with the Leftovers with Iron Head, EQ, T-Wave, and Rocks. Then we got Licky, which is especially defensive, holding the Leftovers also, with Knockoff, Return, Fire Punch, and Wish. And that's a lot of fire coverage, but that's for the reason being that Storm over here, he has the Gorguys, the Scizor, the Magnezone all weak to fire. So that's why I got the fire coverage on my team. And then Storm brought Staraptor, Kyurem Black, this threat, Mega Alakazam, Omastar, Scizor, and Magnezone. And Registeel and Licky are my special defensive walls to take care of the Kyurem Black and the Alakazam. I know Alakazam could run Focus Blast, but like I said, he has to land like 2 of those to knock me out. And it's called, Focus Miss for a reason. So let's get into this battle, because I've been rambling about 4 minutes now. Let me hit play over here. So he starts off with his Omastar, as I lead off with Heliolisk, the Seth Rollins. I go for a T-Bolt, taking Omastar down to his Sash as he sets up his Stealth Rocks. I got no Hazard Remover this week, so that's a good turn 1. Then I go for a T-Bolt, knocking out the Omastar. right after turn 2, we're up 6-5. He goes down to this massive threat, which is Kieran Black. So I bring back my healer list, go on to my Licky Licky, and here he goes for Earth Power. It does a good amount to me, but then he gets a special defense drop also. And here he switches out, and I believe I just stay in, because I want to get some damage on that Kieran Black as I go for a knockoff. Popping the Magnezone's air balloon, getting a little chip damage in there also. I get a little bit leftover recoveries. He goes for a flash cannon here. As I go for a fire punch. And Licky Licky, even at, you know, a -1 special defense, the flash cannon did 44% to me. Imagine if I wasn't -1 special defense at that moment. So I bring back Licky Licky, I go on to Registeel. He goes for a T-Bolt. And here I believe I just set up my rocks, because as you see here, he has no hazard removal also. So here I put up my rocks, he goes onto Alakazam, like I said, Licky Licky, and Registeel are my 2 special defensive walls. So here he goes out to Alakazam, he goes for a Focus Blast, like I said, he misses, because it's called Focus Miss for a reason. Here I go for a T-Wave, crippling this Alakazam. So now he's slow. I get a little bit leftover recoveries. Here he goes for another Focus Blast. This one he lands in. That does it 51 to me. That's a good amount to me. I go for an Iron Head here. Like I said, I need Registeel. Still pretty healthy to help me take care of that Kieran Black. Here I go into Victini, take that rock damage, and I go. He goes for a Focus Blast on this one, lands it, but something's dying here to Blue Flare. He lets his Alakazam go down. Like I said, Victini is such a threat. Here he goes on to his Staraptor. And my switch into this thing is my Lando T, which is physically defensive. And I go onto Lando, get that Intimidate drop. Whatever he wants to go here is not really going to hurt me. He goes for a U-turn here for momentum. And he goes out to Kieran Black, this big old threat. And, you know, I'm not going to take an Ice Beam here. So I bring back my Mon, I go on to Licky Licky, pretty much just sacking it to this Kieran Black as he goes for an Ice Beam. Just 29% to me, another one's going to take me out. And there you go, he goes for another Ice Beam, knocking out my Licky Licky. So there goes the chance of getting another 6-0 against Storm, but that's okay, as long as we win. Here I go into Registeel, he brings back his Kieran Black, he goes into his Magnezone. I predict him to switch out, so I go for an EQ, knocking out that Magnezone. So Registeel putting in work here as a wall, and you know, getting some damage on my opponent, and even taking down a Mon. Here he goes on to Scizor. I thought he was going to go for a Superpower, but you know, whatever he went for was okay, because I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go out to my Lando, get that Intimidate drop. He did go for a Superpower. I eat up that hit, and now his defense gets dropped, and his attack gets dropped, so I'm just going to go for a knockoff here, knocking off someone's item. He goes on to the Staraptor, he gets the Intimidate drop on me, but that's okay as long as I get rid of that item. Is he's banned or scarfed? He's scarfed. So now he's not a threat anymore because Healerless outspeeds him, Greninja outspeeds him, and depending if he's and with Victini and Staraptor, it could be a speed tie. So here he goes for a Brave Bird, I go for another knockoff, knocking out the Staraptor. Here he goes out into this threat against Kieran Black. If he goes for an Outrage or an Ice Beam, so that's why I go into Greninja. At this point I'm just sacking it, but he goes for the Ice Beam. I resist that, but Greninja is not meant for taking hits. Here, like I said, I have the HP Fire. I predicted him to switch out, but I didn't act on it. I just went for a Scold. This Scizor could have been done in 1 hit, but now it's going to be down in 2. Go for that Scold, no Scold burn. He goes for a Bullet Punch. Again, I resist that. And this Scold is going to knock out the Scizor. So now the Kieran Black is alone against 5 of my Mons. He goes on to this Kieran Black. And at this point of the match, I knew he was, the way he kept bringing it in and switching it out, I knew he was scarfed in some fashion. It was either scarfed or Specs. But I pretty much knew he was scarfed. And by him outspeeding my Greninja, pretty much just, confirms that. So here, he's locked into Ice Beam. I go into Registeel. I know I could eat up an Ice Beam as long as he doesn't get a freeze. But at that point, I could take like 3. No freeze, I go for an Iron Head. And that's GG to my buddy Storm and the Minnesota Victinis. pick up a nice 4-0 win in the TEE. Nice 4-0 because my buddy Storm. You know, we're rusty, but you know, that's a victory for us. It's a nice 4-0 victory. And you know, with that said, you know, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.